I'm waiting. It says I'm live. I'm really excited about this call. I'm waiting to make sure that people can hear me and they can see my slides before I get started, because I would hate to be talking to myself. So give me just a second to make sure I am good to go, and then we will get started. Okay, just waiting for a sign. Okay, we'll wait just a few more minutes, make sure that the slides are up. I apologize if they are, just making sure you can hear me and can see my slides, because nobody wants to be talking to themselves at all. I'm hoping I'm not muted. Make sure you can hear me. Yes and yes, we're good to go. I apologize for the lag and slowness, but I wanted to make sure that I wasn't talking to myself and that you were able to listen to my call. So we are good to go. So I am so excited about this call that we are doing tonight. I asked you guys what you thought would be most beneficial to you in your business, and the one that stood out the most was the one that won was Fuel Yourself with Positive Energy, based on the book The Energy Bus. So I'm really excited to talk about this. This is a call that I've done previously. It's a call that fuels my fire. It's something I absolutely love to talk about. And so I'm really excited that this was the topic that everybody wanted to hear about. So my intentions for this call, the reason that I want to talk about this call is because positive energy is so important when it comes to working your business. And energy is contagious, right? Like, we know this. So I want to help you guys create a positive mindset, a positive energy, so that you can take this business and just crush it, slay it, kill it, whatever you want to call it, so that you can, win big and be successful. So first off, I want to kind of give you guys a backstory and kind of give you an idea of how I kind of learned the concept of positive energy, the energy bus. So I love the podcast EntreLeadership by Dave Ramsey. I am a huge Dave Ramsey fan, and he on one of his EntreLeadership podcasts, if you haven't heard it, go download and listen to it. He had the writer of the Energy Bus, John Gordon, on his call, and I started listening to him talk about how high-performing teams are positive and how connected teams are the teams that win, and how you can control what happens in your life. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is this book? Where is this book? I need it in my life. And he said a statement that really, shook me in my core. He said, your positive energy and vision must be greater than anyone's and everyone's negativity. And so I was like on the mad hunt for this book. And I found the book actually, I listened to Scribd a lot. If you don't have that app, it's a really good app for audiobooks and for personal development books, or any books in general. But I found the book, I downloaded it, and I devoured the book. It's only a 3-hour book. It's written in parable form, so it's not this like, you must do X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 snooze fest. It is a story, and he brings this concept to life through these characters. And I just love the concept of the Energy Bus so much that I have listened to it probably over 20, 30 times since I heard this book, because it has had such a positive impact in my life. So I want you to prepare for the ride of your life. That is the concept of this book. So I'm going to give you a backstory without like giving you spoiler alerts, although this whole call is kind of a spoiler alert, but I really encourage you to go listen to the Energy Bus. Like I said, short read, short listen, but so valuable. So anyway, it's about this story about this man named George. And he wakes up one morning and he is just so miserable in his life. He is unhappy. He, you know, he hates his job. It's just not what he wants it to be. And because of that, he's miserable in his house. He yells at the kids. He yells at the dog. And nothing is going right. Like, think of him as a grown-up version of Alexander in The Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. Yet this is his life. It's not just his day, it's his life. He gets up, he gets ready for work, goes out to the car, and he has a flat tire. And he's like, great, just great. Walks in, is like, you've got to take me to work, telling his wife this. His wife is running around, doing the dishes, getting breakfast ready. She's wrapped up in everything going on in her life. And she looks at him and she's like, George, I cannot take you to work today. I have, so many things that I have to get done. You're going to have to take the bus. And he is livid. He is mad. So he kicks and screams his way to the bus, and he gets there. And the door opens. And the bus driver, coincidentally, her name is Joy. And she opens the door, and she is just this light of energy. And she's, hey, sugar, how are you doing? And she starts talking to George. And she gets very frustrated with him because he just has this dimmer personality. He's not living his life on purpose. And she starts to chew him out on this bus. Can you imagine being on a bus? You're having a terrible life, basically. And you get on a bus thinking you're just going to have an uneventful day, and some lady chews you out and tells you, gives him a dose. This lady, Joy, just gives George this dose of reality. She is like, you are a dimmer. You have no purpose. Life is either a curse or a gift. You can have a soap opera or a success story, but you decide, you get to make that decision. And he gets off this bus thinking like, oh my gosh, who is this lady? What is she like? Where does she think is coming from? Goes into work, has a terrible day. He's lost his passion. He doesn't like where he works. He doesn't like his team members. He's just struggling. Goes to pick up his car because he had it towed to a shop, and the guy goes, well, we have some good news and we have some bad news. Good news is you're not smashed into a wall dead, because there's a part on your vehicle that has been recalled, and this flat tire was a blessing. And that's the good news. But the bad news is it's going to take 2 weeks to get the part in. And George is mad, right? Because he just realized that bus that he just rode to work that morning, he's going to have to take for the next 2 weeks to work. But this bus ride actually turns into this incredible blessing. And Joy takes him under her wing, along with a few other people on this bus. And she calls her bus the Energy Bus. And she tells people and she teaches people the 10 rules for the ride of their life, to give people a life of meaning, of energy, and of happiness. And I'd heard this story and I thought, this applies to us. This applies to us, entrepreneurs, mom bosses, even just as mothers, wives, women. This concept applies so much to us. So tonight I'm going to give you the 10 rules for the ride of your life. So get ready, buckle up. I know some buses don't have seatbelts, but buckle up and let's talk about how we can take this concept, these rules, and apply them to your business. So, rule number 1, you are the driver of your own bus. So I want you to think about this for a second. I am someone, when I heard the concept of you are the driver of your own bus, I'm like, oh yeah, but you don't understand. I'm a wife, I'm a mother. I have kids that tell me I'm a mother of, younger children. So I have kids that, are demanding me to make breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I have kids that are, that need to be picked up from school. I have a husband, who works his business. Like, I'm not in control of my own bus because I am being pulled in a million different directions. And on top of that, now I am an entrepreneur, and I have other people who rely on me. What are you talking about? I'm the driver of my own bus. But here's the thing, you guys. You are in control. You run your day, right? And so we all have the same 24 hours in a day. But we have a choice. We get to decide what gets our attention and what doesn't. We get to decide how the day is going to run. So we need to remember first that we're not victims. We're victors, right? This isn't some poor kids on me. I don't get to drive my own bus. Yes, you do. You need to take your will and change your direction. It is your chance to put both hands on the wheel, the steering wheel, and decide that you are going to drive your bus, that you are going to take back control. No one can change your attitude. No one can change your energy. Only you can, right? So the biggest question I have for you guys is, do you know where you want to go? Do you honestly know, like, at the end of the day, where your bus is headed? Do you know? Because we have this opportunity in front of us, right? Life is this major opportunity. And we can either choose to just be this person who, just goes on autopilot, mombi, mode, and is just kind of like chugging along, Groundhog's Day. I talked about that earlier today in a post that I did about how so many moms and women go through like autopilot mode where we just do all these things, and at the end of the day, we sit down and go, I have no idea what the bleep I just did with my day. It's because we didn't take control of the wheel. It's because we didn't say, okay, where do I want my day to go? What do I want to accomplish? Last time I checked, they didn't give out gold medals for clean houses. Now, should you live in a pigsty? Absolutely not. Should your children be fed and bathed? Absolutely. But there are things I guarantee that you make a priority in your life that aren't probably a priority, okay? So I want you to sit down, and I really want you at the end of this call, take out a pen and paper, and I want you to write down these 3 questions, and I want you to answer them truthfully. Number 1, what is my vision for my life? At the end of the day, what is the big picture here, okay? What is the vision for my work, my career, my team? And what is the vision for my family? Because if you can't answer those 3 things, you haven't taken control of your life. And you may be sitting here going, well, duh, I know I don't have control of my life. Okay, change that today. Make a decision that tomorrow morning you are going to wake up and you are going to have control of your day. I have been reading this other book called The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. That is another book. After you read The Energy Bus, I want you to pick up the 5-Second Rule book, because she talks about the fact that we have literally once we have a thought, we have 5 seconds to act upon it before our brains take over with fear, with procrastination, with whatever it is. So you have this small window to make it happen. So tonight, if you're like, oh my gosh, I do not have any control of my life, you need to be ready for tomorrow. You need to wake up tomorrow, and when that alarm goes off, instead of hitting snooze a million times and then getting up and having this chaotic morning of rushing your kid out the door, trust me, I've been there more than I should be lately, then you hear that alarm and you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off, and you get out of bed and you start to go. And then anytime that you have a thought and you know you need to act on it, you count backwards and you get it done. That's how you take control of your life. Don't let the day run you. You run your day. And you are going to be so much more effective as a wife, as a mother, as a business owner, as whatever it is you want to be. Okay, rule number 2. Desire, vision, and focus move your bus in the right direction. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little story. When I first started becoming, a mom boss, network marketer, whatever you want to call it, I had heard about personal development. And I had heard about positive affirmations and about visualization. And I was like, that is the cheesiest thing I have ever heard. That is such BS, like really, because I visualize something happening, all of a sudden it's magically going to happen. Like I was such a negative Nelly about it. I did not believe in visualization. I did not believe in affirmations. I just thought that is just a bunch of hokey pokey. And then I heard a story about a mentor and how he had said that every morning before before his kids woke up, before the day got started, he would sit for 10 minutes in his hot tub. I mean, I don't have a hot tub, but if you do, I recommend this. But he would sit in his hot tub and he would visualize accomplishing these things that he'd always wanted to accomplish, visualizing the goals and the dreams that he had, what his house would look like down to what the color of the door was. And he did this for every day. And eventually, you know what happened? Those visualizations became a true thing. because his thoughts, he put them out into the universe, which sounds, again, I know, crunchy granola, but he put them out into the universe, and because of that, he was able to make that happen. So here I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. I'm going to prove this wrong. This does not work. So I started reading the book called The Secret, which I don't recommend the Netflix movie. It was a little creepy, and I did not watch it all. But the book is very, very good. And I was like, okay, I'm going to test this out because I'm such I love to research. I love research. I love learning about history. Like I'm a nerd, guys. I'm a nerd. And I was like, I'm gonna test this. I'm gonna make it, see. And I started using visualization, and I'll be damned if my life didn't change for the better. That my business started to pick up. That I started having this confidence. That the things that I wanted to accomplish started coming to life. Right. So one of the examples here is the business I was in previously. They had a trip to go to Cancun. And I didn't in the beginning have the belief that I would be able to accomplish going there, and you had to place a deposit. And so I was like, I'm not going to go on the list. Well, my business started to flourish, and all of a sudden I'm kind of qualifying to go on this trip, but I didn't have the belief in the beginning to do it. So every day, every morning, every night, I would visualize opening up my email inbox and seeing, congratulations, you're going to Cancun, right? I did this for 9 months. 9 months. Every single day. Congratulations. I just knew without a shadow of a doubt that this was going to happen. And I am kidding you not, that 30 days before the day we were supposed to leave on this trip, I got the email saying I was off the wait list and that I was going to Cancun with my husband. And I was just like, holy smokes, this stuff works, right? So visualization creates peace because all of a sudden, instead of being like, I don't know how this is going to happen, it gives you this grounding feeling, like you just know in your gut it's going to work out, that it's going to happen. But you have to have a desire to want something, and it's not going to work. Like, of course, I went into this and was like, I want to prove them wrong, but I still, in the beginning, I was like, I don't know. But by the, as I kept going, I started to believe myself, because the more you tell yourself things, the more you start to believe them, right? There's a lot of people who have lived these lies all their lives because they've been telling themselves these negative things about themselves. And they don't realize that the only reason that they feel that way is because they've been telling themselves that story for so long, right? You can choose to become a victim or a victor. The only difference is the power in your beliefs. So you have to have a desire to want something, and then you have to focus on it. I want to challenge you guys to focus for 10 minutes every single day. I know it's hard. We're wives, we're moms. Life is never quiet. But if lock yourself in the bathroom. I mean, I do this. We're all guilty. We lock ourselves in the bathroom and we scroll Facebook for 10 minutes. So instead of scrolling Facebook for 10 minutes, lock yourself in the bathroom and visualize. Visualize what it is you want deep down in the depths of your soul. What you feel you are called to do, what you feel is like, your purpose, your power. I want you to visualize. I want you to see it. I want to know. I want you to get nitty gritty. And I also want you to stand up in front of the mirror and repeat to yourself things that you are or who you want to become. Because if you want to become someone who is passionate, who is successful, who is, whatever it is that you want to become, if you say I am and then place that at the end and you say that to yourself every single day, you will start to act that way. Thoughts are magnetic. So start using positive lingo instead of negative lingo. Say I want, or I can, I will, and I can, versus I want, I don't want, I wish. No, you don't wish. I hope it happens. No, it will happen. You see what I'm doing there? You have to change your thoughts, and you have to, what you speak becomes reality. And so that's why there's people out there in this world who have really, really, like, you look at their situations, you're like, how are they so happy? It's because they have said, they've made their story something inspirational instead of deflating. So be a winner, not a whiner. Rule number 3, fuel your ride with positive energy. Positive energy is going to be the thing that keeps your bus moving forward. It is momentum. I want you to think about your Facebook newsfeed for a second. Maybe you've been in the social media world for a little bit, and so you've been able to hide the negativity. But I'm going to tell you that this last fall with the United States elections, my newsfeed was so clogged with negativity. It hurt my heart to start scrolling through Facebook, seeing people calling one another names, seeing the negativity that just flooded my newsfeed, right? It is draining. It is so, so draining to see all of this negativity. Have you turned on the news lately? I refuse to watch the news because it's such a doom and gloom, Chicken Little, the sky is falling. And I think about positive impacts and influences in this world. And Mother Teresa is someone that I think is a very good example about this, because she didn't host anti-war rallies. She hosted peace rallies. And that's the difference there too. She fueled herself up with positivity and focusing on creating peace instead of fighting, other things. So fuel your ride with positive energy. You have to fuel yourself up every single day. And I'm going to tell you, you need to take care of yourselves. You have to make yourself a priority. It's kind of like when you're riding on an airplane, you're flying, and they give their little spiel and they say that if the oxygen mask deploy, you need to secure your mask first before you help your child. It is no different in life. You have to secure your air mask. You have to take care of you. And that includes personal development. That includes building your positivity up so much that if somebody says something negative, it doesn't deplete your tank. It just drops it a little bit and you're able to recuperate faster. Choose to be a light in this world. Choose to be the person that stands out on social media or who they meet face to face and they're like, there is something different about her. Why? She's just so happy all the time. Like even in the moments of struggle and strife, she's still positive. Why? That is going to spark energy in other people. There's a formula out there that's E plus P equals O. It's events plus perception equals outcome. So you can't control the events that happen in your life, right? I can't control the fact that my parents were divorced when I was a little girl. I can't control the fact that, the company that my husband was working for decided to close those doors. I can't control any of that. But what I can control is my perception. I can control how I see that and how I perceive that and how I decide to move forward, right? I can let that keep me down, or I can let that, turn it into something, a blessing, a positive moment. And that's going to determine the outcome in your life. There are so many people out there who are amazing no matter their circumstances. We hear of people who went homeless to Harvard, We hear about people who were cut from the basketball team and are NBA All-Stars, like the most incredible athletes in the world. We hear about, people, artists who, lived in a war zone, who was treated, terribly, yet his paintings are worth millions. You hear about, composer who was deaf and, composed incredible symphonies. It's because they chose to become victors. They decided that they were going to live a life of positivity, a life of, optimism versus letting those circumstances bring them down and keep them there. There may be people who question your integrity. There may be people who are like, gosh, I don't know, like she's just so fake, because you hear that, some people you think about Facebook and you think about social media and they're always like, oh, it's your highlight reel. And I'm going to tell you that you need to be a positive light. You need to be the difference in your social media newsfeed, but you can't be fake about it, right? So for example, last year our family went through some financial struggles and I shared that with my Facebook feed. But there's a difference between the way I shared it and the way those people that are negative share it, right? I have a friend, I don't know if we're still friends now on Facebook, but I had a friend who would get online and just be like, I need a good divorce lawyer. Who can hook me up? And people would drop things, what's going on, blah, 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 and I'll message you and all these vague booking, And then the next day it's, oh my gosh, my husband is so amazing. And there's a difference between that and you sharing your raw, vulnerable story and saying, this isn't okay, but we will be okay. You see the difference there? Positive plus positive is always going to equal positive. Rule number 4, you need to invite people on your bus. And I love this rule. So we have this really incredible opportunity with Secret, right? Like this incredible opportunity. Like something I feel like this opportunity I could never have even dreamed was possible. And we get this opportunity to place Secret at the feet of others and say, I want you to take a look at this, And the truth of the matter is you need a good team. You can't do this alone. This business isn't set up for that. This business is set up for a team of people to help one another win and succeed. And you need a good team for that. You need a team filled with people that you are excited and passionate to work with. I was telling my mentor, John, the other day that I feel like with our team, I was taught in my previous business, build your dream team. Sit down and write down all the qualities that you want in the person, in your teammates. And I had this list of just the perfect person. And I had qualities of those people in my team before, but I was telling John the other day that I feel like I picked our team out of a catalog. I don't know if people still get catalogs these days, but he kind of teased me about that. But I feel like I did. I feel like I sat down and I went, oh, yep, her. I want her. Put her into my cart, and, they joined my team. And that's the opportunity you guys get to have. You don't have to just sign anyone and everybody just to have someone as a placeholder. You get this incredible opportunity to choose who you want to join your team. There is no shame in talking to someone and saying, maybe this isn't the person that I want on my bus. That means nothing against them. They could be your very best friend, but maybe it's just not meant to be for you two to work together. Listen to your gut. Listen to your intuition. It's never wrong. I always found it very interesting when I was looking into this business. My partner, she that brought me into the business, she was like, this is much a feel out for me as it is for you. This is for me to look at you and see if I want you to be on my team as well. And at first, you kind of like, oh, what? Excuse me? You're testing me out? But it's true, you guys. You have this opportunity to pick the people you want on your team, the people that you want on your bus. And I want you to think about it. If you were stranded, okay, maybe not stranded, but maybe, okay, say you're going to an event somewhere. Maybe you're going to CCon in Las Vegas. And you are going to share your room with your people that are on your bus, your team. What would the room look like? Would it be like, party central? Would it be just moms sitting around, sipping on some Diet Cokes or wines or whatever everyone likes to drink and just having quiet conversations with one another? Would you be having, what would that look like? Would you want someone in the room who isn't mingling with everybody or isn't participating? Absolutely not. You want a cohesive team, a team that they don't have to be identical and robots and Stepford wives and everyone's the exact same, but you want people that have this connection so that when you go into that room, it's like you're a big family. So it's okay to, think about, what kind of team you want to do. But don't hold yourself back. If someone's name keeps popping up in your mind, you run with that. You reach out to them and you say, hey, I have this opportunity. Can we get on a call and talk about it? So be sure that you're putting this opportunity out for other people to see. Be sure that on social media, at least once a week, you are talking about this business opportunity. Maybe you haven't seen massive success yet. Maybe, we're all pretty new here, but you can talk about the visions that you have for this business. You can talk about what it's already done for you, the friendships, the support, the culture, whatever it is, you can talk about that. People will watch and people will listen. All right, number 5, this is going to be one of my favorites. Rule number 5, don't waste energy on those who don't get on your bus. How many of you are guilty for sitting there, sitting somewhere and thinking, God, what could I have done better? What did I do wrong? Now, should we like always try to improve ourselves, and should we always, try to see like maybe the lesson that should be learned somewhere? Yes. But if someone decides that they don't want to get on your bus, that they don't, that they don't want to ride your bus with you, stop worrying about it. It could be a timing issue, but let that time go, right? You don't have to give up on people just because they say no, they don't want to join your business. That doesn't mean no, we can't be friends, we can't have a relationship. You can still be human beings and friends to one another, but stop wasting your energy on people who don't want to get on your bus. Negativity is the enemy, and you can only control the controllable, right? You can't control what other people do. You have no power over that. So, you can't control if somebody unfriends or unfollows you, blocks you. You can't control that. It will happen. It's happened before, right? I've had it happen. And then I've also had that same person unblock me and join my team, my previous business, because the timing wasn't right. So I beat myself up. For a long time, I beat myself up. What was my post that I said that hurt their feelings? What did I do wrong? I wasted so much energy on something that really was not worth it. So your vibe attracts your tribe, and I want you to be unapologetically you. Unapologetically you. Because your vibe is going to attract your tribe. You are going to find the people that are meant to be on your team. But you have to bless and release those who aren't meant for your team. Maybe they will be down the road, but there is no reason to waste your time and your energy on something you cannot control. Rule number 6. This is also a good one. No energy vampires are allowed on your bus. So what does this mean? What's a vampire? They suck the blood out of you, right? They suck the life right out of you. Do you know somebody who does that? So our teams are pretty new, right? We don't really have a huge team at this point, but that's okay. This is a great rule to learn right now so that you know how to set this bar and set the standard for your team. So I'm going to set the bar right here, right now, because you are my direct team members. And I'm going to say that there are no energy vampires allowed on my bus. There is no energy vampires allowed in my team. I don't think we will have an issue with that, but I do want that to be known. Now, that's not me saying you can't come to me with concerns, with feeling down, all of that kind of stuff. But I refuse for somebody to jump onto a page and just drain the energy. I refuse. I had that happen before. I was pretty good about keeping that, in my own team culture, but I saw it in the bigger team cultures in the business I was in before. And, one person jumps in and says they're frustrated with one thing in the business, and all of a sudden it's like this pack of hyenas come out, and everyone's like, me too, I'm frustrated too. And all of a sudden you have this thread of posts of people complaining. And it's not even, there's a difference between saying, sharing a frustration and then trying to brainstorm how you're going to work through it. It's another thing when you're just like, I am so sick of the customer service stinks, this stinks, we don't, and there's no point to it. So I want you guys to set that bar right here, right now, that you refuse to let people, one bad apple spoil a bunch of your team. So, you want to increase the energy in your team, not drain it. This also goes along with your family members. Because we're new in this business, you may have somebody in your life who is very negative about it, right? Who may just be like, okay, I'll give you an example. So my dad, I love him very, 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 very much. He is such an incredible guy, but he does not understand what I do in this business. He never has. He's never understood my previous business. Like network marketing just doesn't, it doesn't really click for him. He's a little old school. And so, I used to like try and fight with him, like, no, you're just not seeing it. You're being stubborn. You don't understand. Like, this business is, and I would try to like, fight with him and get him to see what was going on. But all it did was drain me and bring me down. And so you can't deal. What I've learned from this business is that you just have to, if there's someone in your life who's an energy vampire, someone you love that you can't just like get rid of, you just have to avoid talking about that. There's no reason to bring up the conversation if it's just going to turn into negativity and it's just going to leave you frustrated and drained, and it's going to, it doesn't make sense to keep going with that. So I want you guys to, really focus on that and don't allow other people to bring you down. Rule number 7, I promise I'm almost done. Rule number 7, Enthusiasm attracts more passengers and energizes them during the ride. So like I said earlier, I want you to be unapologetically you. There are people on social media, I'm sure you have people that you follow that their energy and their light just like attracts you, right? It's kind of like, I think of the movie Bug's Life, and the bugs are like, don't go into the light. He's like, I can't help it. I'm so pretty. It's so pretty. And then he gets fried in the light. That's kind of these people, right? They draw you in. You can feel their energy. You can feel their fire, their passion, their love for whatever they're doing. And you're like, I want to know more. Positivity spreads like wildfire, you guys. And you don't even realize it, but your vibe and like the passion that you put into your posts is totally readable on another end. People can see that. If you're someone who's passionate about something, sometimes it can go positively and sometimes people can take that negatively, but that's because they feel the passion, right? So you need to become a CEO, not like a chief executive officer. You need to become a chief energy officer. You need to make it your mission to spread positivity everywhere you go. Now, that doesn't mean being fake. That doesn't mean being somebody that you're not, but I really, really encourage you to try to bring enthusiasm and positivity to other people's lives. Don't let fear stop you. You know, people are going to want to get on your bus if they see how much fun you're having and they see the energy that you have. Now, again, I don't want you to become somebody you're not. I have some people who are always like, oh, I just love what you do, but I can never do what you do. Great. I don't want you to do what I do. I am me. I am Michaela. There is only one. I know. I'm sorry, you guys. No, I'm just kidding. But there's only one me. There's only one Michaela. But there's also only one you. And only you can do you. And so people that may not be attracted to me because maybe I turn them off by some things that I do, maybe they'll be attracted to you because they relate to you on a different level. So, people are going to want to join you if they can see your heart, that they see that you're raw, you're real, you're vulnerable, that they see that you are really genuine about this business, that you really love what you do, that you're not here just to make a quick buck, that you're not here to just, you're here because someone invited you and you thought, hell, why not? Right? You're not that. Nobody wants to join that bus. They want to be on the party bus. They want to be on your bus, even if your party bus is full of introverts who are sitting there feeling awkward, because that would be my bus. But they want to be with you because your positivity and your enthusiasm is going to exude in whatever you do. So you need to do everything with a whole heart, or not at all. You can always tell. I look back through my On This Day posts, and I can tell the posts that I did that were just kind of half-assed. Sorry. Or, didn't really have, I just posted it to post it because I needed a post. And then I can read the other posts that I've written and that I was like passionate about, I was excited about, I was enthusiastic about. And I'm like, man, that was a good post, right? So you want to create that. You want every single post that you do to be that like, oh my gosh, snagger, that snags somebody in. It doesn't have to be something that everyone likes. You can only have 10 likes on it. But I guarantee those people that liked it are the 10 right people that needed to see that message for the day. Rule number 8. Let me make sure I got actually all I said that I needed to do. Oh, I know what I was going to say about the last one really quick. So, a positive culture is always going to outperform a negative culture every single time. And that is always why the underdog, you think about the underdogs. Why do people care about the underdogs? Why wouldn't you want to cheer for like the New York Yankees? I mean, people do, but the New York Yankees. Why were people cheering for the Cubs last year? If you don't watch baseball, you won't understand. But, the Cubs hadn't won the World Series in like 100 years, right? They believe in this curse. And, everyone wanted the Cubs to go to the World Series. All these people are just like, even if they weren't Cubs fans. My dad is like a Boston Red Sox lover, and here he is jumping up and down. He's in his 50s, and he's jumping up and down like a little schoolgirl, freaking out that the Cubs won the World Series. Because everyone loves the underdogs. Everyone's cheering for the underdogs. We want those people to win. And so connected teams win. And that's what I want for our team. I want us to be this cohesive team. This team is a sisterhood, or a brotherhood eventually, but, this sisterhood that just bonds, and we support one another and we cheer another on, because connected teams are the teams that win. And I see us winning very big. Rule number 8. Love your passengers. If you walk away with anything today, I hope you walk away with this rule. You need to love your passengers. I understand that there are love languages, and some people show their love in different ways. But as a leader, as someone who is going to be building their team, as someone who has clients underneath them, you need to find a way to express your love and your appreciation for people. So if you are someone, isn't very good with writing, maybe you send them a little quick video clip or a voice message on Facebook telling them thank you, and just that you were thinking about them. Find ways for people to know that you love them and that you care. Because I know this team is full of people who are genuine, but we need to make sure that we are expressing that people know that. Because sometimes I think we assume people know that we care and we love them, but maybe they don't. So find ways to share love, Maybe, I want you guys to understand, as we get going into this business and we start to grow, I want you to understand that I am very, very, very blessed to be on this team with you, that I do love you guys so very much, and that, I worry every single day. I'm always, thinking about how I can be a better leader for you guys, because I love you and I want you to win and I want you to succeed. And I always, I don't want to let you guys down, and I don't want you to get discouraged because maybe, your path is taking a different path, or it's going a little slower, or whatever it is, because I just, I love and appreciate you guys, and I want you guys to know that you're loved massively and ferociously. So you need to be genuine. You need to express that to your clients, to your customers, and don't force it. I see a lot of other companies who are always, I love shouting people out. I love recognition. But, I think there's a balance there. And if you're always shouting out every single person who orders, does it stay genuine? Probably not. If you sent them a private message and just said, hey, thanks for your order, I'm so excited that, you decided to do this, that's going to go a lot longer. Everything doesn't have to be in the spotlight. So we need to bring out the best in others. We need to, love them enough and teach our team enough that when the time comes, that we can let them fly. I love my babies so very much, and I keep teasing my husband that they could just live with us forever. But the truth of the matter is, I don't want my babies to live with me forever. I want them to fly away, right? I want them to become these incredible individuals in this world. And eventually you're going to have a team, and, you're going to have to love them enough to let them fly, to let them spread their wings and become their own leaders. You don't want to become someone, I'm going to tell you this right here, before you start your teams, you don't want to become the hand holder, the mother hen, the one that's keeping your chicks all together and trying to make sure everyone's successful. You want to give your team the tools that they need, and then let them go and watch them fly. That is going to be so much more rewarding for you. And that's what love is. Love does things for people. And that's what you want your love to do, is you don't want to be the crutch that people lean on, and they're waiting for you to help them become, make them successful. You want to give them the tools and then say, okay, here you go, and push them out of the nest and watch them build their wings on the way up. That is leadership. That is love. Okay, we're almost done. Rule number 9, you need to drive with a purpose. So this is purpose is your ultimate fuel. It is the thing that gets you out of bed in the morning. It is the thing that fuels you, to stay up late at night, to send that last message. It's the thing that, gives you the courage to send a message to somebody that, you really love and admire. If you don't know where you're going and you're just driving around having a joyride through the desert, you're just like, whee, this is great, wherever the wind blows me, I'll go, then you're never going to arrive anywhere. You're never going to reach your destination. You're never going to accomplish your goals that you want to accomplish, because you have to drive with a purpose. You have to know where you're going. Your path may take twists and turns and exits and detours and roadblocks and all that kind of stuff, but at least you know where it's going. You know, you have to find your why. You've got to have a why that makes you cry. You have to find your mission. What is the purpose that you were sent here on this earth to do? Why are you here? What are you called to do? Figure it out, find it out, and then make it work. You know, set it in motion. I know that this business is going to open the door for many, many other incredible opportunities for me. I know that without a shadow of a doubt. I have this dream. I will tell you guys this because I believe in sharing, you know, being raw and vulnerable with you guys. I have this dream. I grew up in this tiny town in Idaho, less than 1,000 people. My high school only had 2 hallways. But yeah, I have this dream to be invited back to speak at graduation, at a high school graduation. I want to be on the list because I remember when I was a senior in high school, there was a list of people that we could look through and say, we want them to speak at our graduation. And my graduation, we had a judge, like a circuit, I don't even know what he was, but he was this incredible judge. He spoke, you know, he graduated from our school and he'd become this successful judge. And then we had, you know, a teacher who was a mentor of mine who has done incredible things as well. And I just always had this, like, I want to make the list. I want to speak at a high school graduation. Is that going to be, you know, this graduation coming up? Absolutely not. It could be 20, 30 years down the road. But I firmly believe that this business is preparing me for that. Speaking to you guys on these calls, that is preparing me for that. So don't just, you know, yes, Secret is an incredible opportunity. I love it. I don't want to say I'm a lifer because I said that in my previous business and I left. But for right now, this is the thing that I'm doing and I love it and I'm all in wholeheartedly. And I know it's going to open the doors for many things, potentially, you know, adoption down the road, speaking at graduation, speaking engagements, you know, trips, backpacking through Europe with my kids. It's going to open these doors. But you have to drive with a purpose. You've got to set benchmarks. You've got to set destinations for yourself. And the last one, which is probably the most important, rule number 10, have fun and enjoy the ride. Gratitude fuels in performance, but you have to step out of your comfort zone and go for it. You know, failing is going to be inevitable. It's going to happen. Even the best people in this world have failed in their lives. And you have to understand that it's going to happen. It's going to change, you know, it's going to happen and embrace it. But you've got to enjoy the journey. Again, I told you, have a destination, right? But don't be so focused on your destination that you miss out on the beautiful ride that you're on, that you miss out on seeing, you know, the beauty around you right here, right now. I did that for a year in my previous business, and it is something that I will regret until the day I die. Because you guys, I missed out on a year of my kid's life. I checked out. I was so focused, I'm going to cry, but I was so focused on achieving the destination, getting there, you know, because when we get there, that's when life's going to happen. That's when we're going to be free. That's when we're going to be able to do all these things. And I failed to see the beauty in my everyday life. And I refuse for that to ever happen ever again. Because life is a gift. And it is only, you know, it is a very small window of time. And tomorrow isn't promised to you. So you have to have fun and enjoy the ride today, here, right now. So focus on the path you're on. Let's see, what was I going to say? So here's your ticket. Are you on the bus? I have this opportunity for you guys. I know you guys have committed. You're like, okay, I'm on Team Secret. Why are you handing me a ticket again? Why are you asking me this? Because for too long, I've seen so many people kind of be half on, half off the bus, right? Like, yeah, I'm sort of doing this, and then their foot's dragging behind, right? And I want to encourage you to be all on the bus if that's what you want. If it's not what you want, I want to wish you well. I love you, and I wish you the best. But I really, really encourage you to be all in, to be right here, right now, to jump on the bus, throw your hands in the air, and just say, you know, let's go. You lead, I follow. That's what I did when I started this business, and I'm already just blown away as to where I am, you know, 6 weeks later. I guess it's been 2 months almost. Holy smokes. But, you know, I threw my hands in the air and I said, you lead, I'll follow. I'm all in. You show me what to do. And here I am, you know. Here I am with this incredible opportunity that has already blessed my life, my family's life so much. And I already know it's going to do even more. So here's your ticket to join this, to join this journey, to really give it your all and to say, I am here. I'm on the bus. And I'm going to close with this quote really quick because it's something I really love, if I can get my computer to work. Okay. The goal in life is to live young, have fun, and arrive at your destination as late as possible with a smile on your face. So live day to day. You guys have this incredible opportunity to change your lives. These rules that I shared with you tonight, they're not just applicable to your business. They're applicable to your everyday life. Are the people in your life the people you want on your bus? Are you driving in the direction you want to go with your family? Are you accomplishing, are you surrounding yourself with energy vampires? Whatever it is, this applies to your life so much. But the bottom line is nobody gets out alive, right? And so you want to, you're only given one life, and I hope you choose to make the most of it. That you decide that you take risks, you go all in, you give everything that you've got, and you fail big, but you win big too. So I am so grateful that I was able to do this call for you guys. I hope that you were given, some pieces of information that will help you in your business. Again, I am so incredibly grateful for you guys, and I know that our team is just going to crush it. We have big things in store of us, and in store and ahead of us. But if you guys ever need anything, please know I'm here. Please know that this team is here for you, and I hope you guys have an incredible night. Bye, guys.